So peep this out. I got a little trick for you. You can use it for business. You can use it for dating. Kind of applies for both. So think about this. You got a sales funnel. It's like this. Okay. At the top, it's wide. That's called the awareness stage. That's when someone first becomes aware of your business, or in dating, when someone first becomes aware of you, when they first get a look at you. In the middle is a discovery phase. That's when the business first discovers that maybe you might have something that you might supply something they demand. You might have something to benefit for them. In the dating world, it's when someone discovers they might be attracted to you. They like how you look. They like how you talk. They like how you move. At the bottom of the funnel, I call it the acquisition stage. So in the acquisition stage, it's when they decide whether or not they want to sacrifice to get a return. It's when a business decides that they want to actually pay you to get what you say you offer. It's when someone actually decides that they want to go out with you. They want to sacrifice their time or their money or their reputation to go out with you. So here's the trick. Think about the sales funnel. Wide at the top, that's awareness. You first enter the room. They first hear about you. Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff to pay attention to. You're one of a million things going on. 2, in the middle of the stage, now remember this, the middle of the stage, discovery, that's about questions. They become curious. I wonder where that person is from. I wonder if that person is here with anybody. I wonder how old that person is. I wonder what that person does for a living. I wonder if this business is the local. I wonder, what other products this business offers. I wonder so the discovery phase, the middle phase is about questions. Remember that. Hold on to that. The key part of the bottom part of the funnel, the acquisition stage, the key part of that is about comfort and sacrifice. From the questions they ask you, they then have to have a certain comfort so that they can sacrifice to get a return on what it is that you offer, or to get a return on hanging out with you. So business or personal, the bottom part of the funnel, the acquisition stage, it's about sacrifice and return. But to get to sacrifice, they have to become comfortable. The questions that they ask you have to be answered in a certain way that makes them comfortable enough to want to sacrifice. So here's the trick. You go out, get in the mix, kick it with people. Be authentically you. That's the awareness stage. Be authentically you. Now, we're talking about new situations. Anybody that already knows you, they already know you. It's not new. You're not in the awareness phase in the same way. So we're talking about new situations, business and personal. You can use this trick. Go out and be authentically you. Enter the marketplace, enter the scene, be you, do what you, but be authentic. If someone asks you questions, and in particular, if someone asks you questions about you, where you're from, where your company's from, what you do, what your company offers, if they begin to ask questions about you, they're in that discovery phase. It may not be obvious questions. It may not be direct questions. You know what I'm saying? You may not even think that they're hollering at you. You may not even think that they're pursuing you. It just may seem like innocent, genuine questions. It's a good chance they're in the discovery phase. You know why? People don't ask questions, especially multiple questions, about something they don't give a fuck about. Flat out. So we don't waste our time. We don't waste our effort. We don't waste the words and the breath out of our mouth to ask you multiple questions unless we're in that discovery phase. For some reason, we're in that discovery phase. We've discovered we have an interest. Now, the trick is to go out, be authentically you, and notice who asks you questions. If anybody asks you questions about you, And then pay attention to how those questions, based upon your interests, because you may be like, yeah, I don't want this motherfucker asking me questions. But if you go along, pay attention to who asks you questions about you. And then how the questions evolve to your availability. That's the trick. People don't ask multiple questions about something that they don't have any interest in. 2, when someone starts to ask multiple questions, they're showing an interest, some type of interest. 3, when they start asking specific questions about your availability, and if somehow now the questions aren't just all about you, they start talking a little bit more about themselves. You may not notice the merge, but the merge goes from their interest, their discovery in you, to then, if they're comfortable, how can they sacrifice and acquire you? Business or personal? It goes from questions about you to questions about your availability and about how they can connect with that. So it could be real subtle. The person may not even know that they're hollering at you. That other business may not even know that they have a genuine interest in you. But once again, we don't ask questions about something or someone that we have no real interest in. There's too much other shit to pay attention to in this world. There's too many other things that I want to pay attention to something that I don't. But subconsciously, you start to ask questions. Think about it in your own life. You start to ask questions about things that you have discovered some type of interest in. Multiple questions. You start to ask questions. So when people start to ask questions about you, about specific things about you, discovery. They like you. They're interested. But it could stop there. It just might be like, oh, yeah, okay. And then it fizzles out and that's the end of it. But if it then gets to about your availability, I'm telling you, pay attention to that transition. If they then begin to ask about your availability, you already know. Now it's just time for you to reel that motherfucker in. So it's a little trick. It's a little strategy. I've used it. It's effective. It's a way to not waste time. Because if you jump out here trying to get everybody's attention, you're in the awareness stage. It's a crowded market. There's too much shit to pay attention to. So you filter that out. When you get motherfuckers that's asking you questions about you, they're in the middle. And then you just proceed from there. And like I say, if it ever gets to any questions about your availability, you already know. You already know. Male, female, business, personal. That's what time it is. So let me know what you think.